Grab a glass and get out here. We are celebrating America's 250th birthday this 4th of July weekend. We are drinking Evan Williams' 250th Commemorative Edition. So like I said, happy 4th of July weekend. I hope you are celebrating with friends and family this 250th anniversary of America's founding. There's a lot of whiskeys on the market right now that are coming out with 250th editions, and some of them I think are doing it better than others. You've got examples like this from Evan Williams that I think are doing it very well. Also, if you look at Yellowstone's Bottle and Bond 250th, there's quite a few others. Lost Lantern is doing some really fun things. Larkin has a 250th bottle. Lots of different brands are coming out with their 250th anniversary bottles. Some putting more effort into it than others. I hate to throw shade at Maker's Mark and Knob Creek because generally they do a really good job, but they just relabeled their standard releases and are saying, hey, we put a sticker on it. Now it's a 250th release. I don't really count that. Whereas Evan Williams, I really respect them for what they did. They made a completely unique release at a special bottling proof and a special wax dip on these. They seem to really put a lot more effort into it. Plus, unlike some others that are putting effort into it, they kept it at a really reasonable price. So we'll talk more about that. This is 250th on the neck tag here. They're celebrating America's semi-quincentennial. They selected 250 barrels and they bottled it at 117.76 proof. So you got your 1776 in there. Evan Williams was Kentucky's first licensed distiller in 1783, the year America formalized its independence at the end of the Revolutionary War. They've also got a note here. They are donating $75,000 to help fund the life-changing mission of Folds of Honor, which is great. I love to support that. So, nice little release they've got here. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey out of Evan Williams, of course, owned by Heaven Hill. It is their classic 78% corn, 12% rye, 10% malted barley mash bill. The age on this one, they actually have the barreled on and bottled on date, so I could get it down to the day, but nobody cares about that. But it is, 7 years and 3 months old. The proof, as I mentioned, was 117.76 proof to work in 1776. The MSRP on this, and this is one of the best parts, $40. And I got mine for right around $35. So you look at all those special releases, most of them are coming in, if they're actually a special release and not just a relabeling, most of those are starting at $70, $80, going all the way up into the hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So this being a very fairly priced bottle, while still being what I would consider a high effort release, I love that. But let's see if the flavors live up to the bottling and the packaging. I'm getting a lot of ethanol on the nose. I would assume, based on the amount of ethanol, I would have guessed that it was a much higher proof. I would have guessed like 130, but it's right in that 117.76. But just overwhelming vanilla bomb. It's a caramel vanilla bomb. If you know those little caramels that have the vanilla cream in the center, these soft candies, it's like if you shave off most of the caramel part but keep all that vanilla, kind of like there's the caramel cowtails. It's a caramel cowtail. There you go. Yeah, that is the predominant flavor that I'm getting off the nose is caramel cowtails. If you haven't had them, go to your nearest Quick Trip. They usually have them on the counter. One of my favorite snacks. Yeah, but big nose. Lots of vanilla, good amount of caramel, baking spices, cinnamon, nutmeg. There's a little bit of fruitiness to it. Oh man. Ooh. Yeah, the ethanol is really showing up today. Yeah, there is some fruitiness, but it's more, maybe a touch of plum. Almost. No, it's not pear. Definitely more like a plumminess to it. You know, dark stone fruit. It's nice. It's big, bombastic, as it should be. Let's see how it tastes. Yeah, you could have fooled me. If you put 130 proof on the label, I'd believe you. Because it's really big flavors, a lot of heat, really lasting finish, lots of Kentucky hug. It's spicy, it's lively. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. The flavors carry through from nose to palate, but less vanilla, much more oak. The oak shows up on the palate. It wasn't really there on the nose, but I'm getting a nice, clean oak influence on the palate. Not tannic oak, but it's a spicy oak. Yeah, those baking spices from the oak, I think, are what's taking over the palate. It starts a little sweeter. It starts more on the caramel, and then transitions into spicy, lively oak on the finish, and that sticks around. Really sticks around for quite a while. But I'm surprised how proofy it's drinking today. That's really showing up. Really showing up. Why would you buy this bottle? For one, like I was saying earlier, it is a actual special release for America's 250th, as opposed to some of the other just relabeled releases. It's, you know, they do a great job with this presentation. Hand dipped blue wax, great bottle. It's in their single barrel bottle shape from Evan Williams, but looks great for the price. You can give it away, but careful who you're giving it to. For a lot of people, if their standard is Evan Williams Black Label, let's say, this might be too much proof for them. If they're drinking Evan Williams White Label, their bottled and bond, they might be able to be ready for this. But this is definitely a full barrel proof experience, even if it's not barreled at such a high proof. So it's very much an enthusiast whiskey. Now I've got barrel number, failed to mention that earlier, barrel number 68. So splice through the funny numbers perfectly. And yeah, it's really pretty solid. It's a good looking bottle. If you aren't able to find this one, I mean, there's only 250 barrels. You might be able to find the Yellowstone 250th release. That's a bottled and bond product, so probably going to drink a little easier than this, but it is almost twice the price at $70. But it does come in a tube that looks great. But then again, bouncing back, it's also only 250 barrels of that, so could be a little hard to find. A release that you really should be able to find, considering I've even seen it in a Walgreens around here. Not this year's edition yet, but other years, the Evan Williams 1783 year's edition. So yes, another Evan Williams bottle, but that is bottled at, I believe, 90 proof. It's 86. So a much lower proof, much friendlier to somebody who's newer, and price point is also fantastic, $25. Then the last bottle that I'm going to recommend, and that one's going to be one that's in a similar proof point, would be Barrel Batch 38. Now this is more expensive, $85, but the proof is about 116, I believe. So very close in proof to this Evan Williams 250th. It's got a nice label, not as much special packaging, but Barrel is a fantastic brand that consistently puts out really high quality products. That would be a good alternative, and probably going to be the easiest to find release of the ones I've mentioned. Thank you for watching. Cheers, and God bless America. Shoot. Ugh. Second time that's happened. Quite frustrating. Like, couldn't have just waited another minute. Almost done.